Today's video, we're going to be covering something completely different from what I'm used to. This isn't my machine, it's my buddy's. He's a excavator contractor locally in my town, and he got a sander this year. I mean, he's always plowed, but he got a sander this year, and we're doing a trade, so we get to use his machine here to get into our shipping container with salt and load up trucks with sand and stuff. And he just gets, you know, free sand just in case our tractor here that we use to load up our trucks and stuff breaks down. We can hop into this and use it, and our tractor won't fit into a shipping container, so that's kind of an advantage with this, is we can get in there when we need to add salt. So I've been using this thing for probably a little less than a month, and I think I know it enough to give it a good review. So if you guys follow my channel, you know I'm a big JCB guy. I have 3 JCB skid steers. I got a track skid. I've had a 260 track machine as well. I have a tire skid, and I got a 215. So I got a good amount of stuff that I can compare it to and talk to you guys about the pros and cons, or Kubota versus JCB anyway. So let's get into it. First things first is the actual build. The build is, I feel, better than JCB. Everything seems a little bit more rugged. Everything seems a little bit better built. Not only does it, you know, has 2 booms that obviously make it a little bit more solid in my opinion. But everything is extremely easy to grease. Everything's extremely easy to get to. That's not, I know with some of my JCB stuff, it's like they put the grease zerks in the absolute worst place possible. With this, they did a great job of putting all the zerks in very easy access areas. Just everything just seems a little bit beefier. So this is a 75.2, so it's like a 74 horsepower engine. It doesn't require DEF. It does go through emission cycles and stuff like that. But it's a 10,000 pound track machine. My track tail skid is 12,000 pounds, and my tire tail skid is 10,000 pounds. So the tire tail skid is more the good comparison to this. So one thing I did notice is it is kind of packed in here. This is the JCB. I think has a much better back end to get access to everything. This is kind of a bitch, but you know, you can still get to stuff here. Because I think the JCB is a little bit more accessible out back. So obviously in this JCB, it's a lot easier to get to your filters, a lot easier to check your fluids. Everything's just much more simple, much more open, easy to get to, easy to work on for the most part. I mean, it's still crammed right in there, but I'd say definitely a better setup than the Kubota. We actually have the same tracks as these, so that's a really good comparison, just to see the ride difference and the sound difference in the cab. As far as reliability and as far as it being built correctly, I'd say it's just about even. I mean, yeah, this has 2 booms. I think it's a little bit more rugged, but on the downside, the JCB has, you know, easier access to all your stuff out back here. So as far as access, obviously JCB is, you know, the best skid steer for access. You only have 1 boom, so you have a side door. So getting into this thing, obviously with this little bucket, you know, it's not a big deal. But when you put other attachments on, it's kind of a big deal. And we do a lot of stuff with big buckets, a lot of stuff with snow and mulch, and we always need to have a big bucket on. And with this, it's kind of a nightmare to have a big implement on, just to step over it. JCB is way better because you can just go around it and get in the side door. A lot faster and easier with the JCB. So access definitely goes to JCB. So as you can see, with a big implement on here, there's a 2-yard snow bucket that we use for our skid steers. It's basically impossible to get out of. Let's try to get out of it. Yeah, you gotta like step on these and jump off. It's good for the knees. This isn't too crazy bad. Like I said, when there's a small implement on, it's not too bad. So let's go over the interior. Once you get in, you got 2 levers here, 1 on each side. You know, pretty similar to my JCB skid steers. Isn't that bad. What I do notice is this cab is definitely smaller, especially with the feet room. I'm kind of a tall guy, and my knees are basically at a 90-degree angle, fully extended right now. My JCBs definitely have a longer cab, going that way for foot room. So here's the interior of the JCB. So basically in the Kubota, I'm at this angle, legs at a 90-degree. But in this, I can stretch my leg so it's absolutely straight, which you can definitely not do in that Kubota. So definitely when you want to stretch your legs, it's much better in this than the Kubota cab. Another issue I kind of don't like about this, obviously I'm assuming you can take those guards off, but the visibility is pretty horrendous. So not only do you have these guards, and I get it if you're working in the woods and stuff, it's great, but for me doing landscape and snow plowing, we definitely wouldn't want that on. We'd want as much visibility as we can. So the visibility is definitely worse. Out back it's pretty horrible. There's a bar in the way there. Obviously he's got his lettering there. The visibility definitely JCB wins, but you know, that's because this has two booms, so you got one on each side that are gonna get in the way, and also you have a bar running back there that's gonna get in the way as well. Obviously a camera could solve that. But it's just nice to the JCB just because you have, you know, best in class visibility. Obviously the visibility, only one boom. You can see out this side completely. And the back, there's no bar in the way. As far as all the controls are much better to work with, especially grading or doing any type of fine work, loading in pallets, stuff like that. The joystick has much more play in it. It's not so jerky. You know, JCBs are just notoriously known for being extremely touchy and extremely quick. This is a lot slower, and you have to actually use it quite a bit to get things to move. So it's really nice. So that definitely wins in the control department. The glass to shut, it's actually not, you can't do it with one hand, you need to use two, which is not that big of a deal, but kind of annoying. Yeah, overall nice cab. Just my complaint that it's not really big enough, especially for me. You know, my legs are literally 90-degree angle right now. Everything's easily marked out though. My older JCBs aren't marked out well at all. My new one is, so everything's pretty easy to use. One complaint that I have is this cover here. So this is the quick attach right here. I don't know why they put this here, but you basically have to hold it, and the problem with this quick attach is it's like twice as low as my JCBs. My JCBs, they fly right off, and that's great. This you have to like take, you know, twice as long to get your implements off. But JCB has a lot of issues with their quick attach. They fall off all the time. They also clog up with stuff, and they seem to not work very well. He hasn't had any issues with this, and it seems to work pretty good for him, so I'm not gonna shit on it too much. Radio's back there. I kind of don't like that. I wish the radio was up here. That's the good thing about the JC, is kind of everything's up here, not behind you. So everything's kind of behind you, which I'm not really a fan of, but you could get used to it. But I know I like my JCBs with all my auxiliaries and buttons easily where I can see them, and I don't have to lean back and try to find where they are. Nice and easy to find, right in front of you. No reaching behind you and looking for stuff. Everything's right there, wide in the open. So I think interior definitely goes to JCB. You know, this is still nice and everything, but I'd say JCB definitely takes the interior. So as far as ride, my track skid steer, my teleskid, it rides pretty rough. This is about the same ride. It has the same tracks on it, and I really can't tell the difference between the ride. As far as the noise, it's really the same as well. A lot of people are telling me JCB is the loudest in cab, which I don't really believe, because it seems just about the same. As far as power, so like I said, this is a 10,000 pound track machine, and my teleskid is a 12,000 pound track machine, and they both have like the same size engine. So this does seem to have more power. It has less weight to move, obviously, compared to my teleskid. So there's no issue with power in this at all. I can go right up to a sand pile and lift it, no problem, and it won't stall out. I know if I want to stall out my track teleskid, it can stall out, just because it has, you know, so much more iron to move. The counterweight's not bad in this either. As far as speed, the JCB is like 2 miles an hour faster, but this is a track machine. You don't really want to go that fast with it anyway. But when you're plowing, that would definitely matter, going another 2 miles an hour. So definitely speed goes to JCB as well. So let's move this thing around a little bit and see how it goes. This is just a really light pile. This is compost, or it's becoming compost, I should say. It's horse shit. So I'm going to turn it over a couple times for you guys just to show you the power. It's not really heavy stuff, it's like the same weight as bark mulch. say 3/4 yards of sand. There's no issue of tipping over or the back tipping up. Switching to fast mode for you guys just so you can get a feel of how it rides at full speed and the noise as well. I'll show you the quick attach and how slow it is. So it goes one at a time essentially. With my JCB, both sides go at the same time. So it's basically, you know, twice as slow. There. Now I'll show you how quick the quick attach is. Unlock and lock is right there. Not bad at all. So I wouldn't say the ride's any better than JCB. I wouldn't say that the cab is any quieter. I'd say it's, you know, fairly equal as far as that go. But it's a pretty even machine. I would say that if I didn't do snow plowing and I didn't do hardscape, if I was just an excavator contractor, I'd probably get one of these. I just feel like it's probably a little bit better for excavation. It's a little bit stronger, a little bit beefier. It's probably going to be more reliable. But like I said, I mean, the visibility and access just, for me doing what I do, and obviously, you know, factoring the boom as well, you know, it's just something I wouldn't really want. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I still like my JCBs, but this is a really nice machine too. So like always, any other questions or anything I missed, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching.